Welcome to Between Two Pines. I am District Chair Jeff Lehman, and with me today is a very good person to know here at District, Suzanne Olimer. She's the good person to know because she's the Commissioner of Finance. She controls the money. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We use this opportunity to talk about important things at District. So today's show is about money. And you know, District was created originally to do some of the big things that towns and townships and local communities can't do on their own because they're big and expensive. So maybe take us through, we just had our financial statements, we just had our audit, maybe give us a bit of an overview of where we sit.
Sure thing. So I think the good news is that our auditors gave us a clean audit opinion, which means that they feel that our financials are being presented in a fair and transparent way. We also were able to report that our debt is down, which is always a good thing. Our financial assets are up, as are our reserves, and we're closing out the year with a surplus of just under $717 million.
And it's, you know, people hear that and they're like, oh, well, why did you tax me if you have this big surplus? And I think this is one of the things that often people might not understand about a municipal, you know, balance sheet and budget, which is we own a whole bunch of stuff that has a value associated with it, like water plants and roads, but it's not like you can sell that stuff.
Exactly. So it's not $717 million in the bank.
Cash, yeah.
It's you know, the vast majority of that is exactly those things. It's the roads that we drive on. It's the water and wastewater plants that keep our water and our lakes safe. It's, you know, the long-term care homes that we operate. So about $574 million of that surplus is made up of those asset values. There is some money in the bank, which is in the form of reserves, and there's about $212 million in reserves. But if you think about reserves, they're what we use to keep those assets running, keep them in a state of good repair, and make sure that we can replace them when they're out of useful life.
Right. So this is just like when you own a house, the roof, you know, lasts 10 years, and every 10 years you need a new roof. But most people can't afford the cost of a new roof in their monthly budget, so you have to save a bit for it. We do that on a much bigger scale, right? With roads and pipes and bridges and pork cardling locks and all the other things that the district runs.
Exactly. So if you think about it, it's essentially trying to keep those monies set aside to handle those big repairs.
Okay, so we're in good financial condition, but what does that mean for people's taxes? I'm sure that's what they want to know.
For sure. And so although we have been able to set aside reserves, we've also been able to do this while making sure that our tax rate increases are remaining at or below inflation each year. So that's good news for people's tax rates.
Yeah, I mean, we always have to understand, I think, and we do as district council, that this goes into people's monthly budgets and their annual costs. So if somebody wanted to get involved with the budget, they were looking for a really wild Friday night in Muskoka, they wanted to engage with the district municipality on our budgeting, how would they do that?
For sure. So this year, for the first time, we're going to be seeking public input into our budget process and into our priorities. So keep an eye out on your social media feeds, on the district website, and subscribe to our newsletter.
Subscribe to this newsletter.
To be able to learn more about how you can engage.
Okay, awesome. And we are doing our first ever 2-year budget coming up.
That's right.
This is exciting.
It is exciting.
For us, this is exciting.
We're hoping to be able to get a 2-year budget passed and approved so that we can be able to really put into action all of those strategic priorities that our council has told us that they've heard are your priorities out there.
Yeah, it's all about making an impact in Muskoka, in communities. And I think, you know, one of those early examples, we just announced this week a brand new housing development at 100 Pine. There's going to be 44 units of affordable housing, deeply affordable housing. I mean, this is at a rent level of $500 to $950 a month. You know, we know housing is a huge priority for council. We know there's a lot of people out there struggling to find it. So we put that together.
Absolutely. So that's a great example of one of those projects where we're going to dip into those reserves or those savings to be able to move that project along quickly because we recognize how important it is to the community.
We're in good financial shape, which is why we're able to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Right, Madam Treasurer?
Exactly.
For sure. Well, this has been a quick hit on sort of how municipal budget works and what we're trying to do here at District with your tax dollars. You can find out a lot more by subscribing to our newsletter. There's other information in there. Our 2024 community grants have been announced. How you can stay in the know about district road projects and road closures. There's a lot of construction. It's construction season. You can learn more about that big move on housing and some of our other council priorities. So stay connected. Subscribe to our newsletter at muskoka.om.ca.